What's going on, everybody? So, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I'm just get right into it. I gotta say, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, this game is horrible. Don't buy this game, even if you can get it at a discount price. I would say wait until this game is at least $20. I paid $30 for it. I didn't have to pay the full price for the game, obviously, and I feel like I wasted my money. I already knew this game. I already had like my first impressions of this game. Like this game is already looking questionable to me at first. And with Dragon Ball Fighter Z on the horizon, this game wasn't looking good at all. Basing it on the trailers and everything. When this game first got revealed, and then all the other stuff that came out about it, it just wasn't looking good. And I had to make this video because I said I gotta warn people. Even if you look at somebody's gameplay and it looks like it might be a little fun, I'd say wait. I think I think if I think if you're definitely not going to be one of those people who are playing online a lot, I don't think you should get this game at all. There's a lot of things wrong with this game. I mean, this game just it doesn't feel like Marvel vs. Capcom. This game, honestly, it's like PlayStation All Stars. If you guys remember, PlayStation All Stars was the Smash Brothers clone that Sony did, right? And that game didn't feel like a celebration of Sony. It didn't seem like a celebration of the PlayStation brand. It was just really a advertisement for all these different third party games, pretty much. And that's what this game feels like. It feels like an advertisement for the MCU, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's all it is. I mean, if you go through the menus of this game, just the overall presentation and graphics of this game is just horrible, horrible. From the generic music, the music in this game, for the most part, the music's very generic. When you turn the game on for the first time in the title screen, there's nobody screaming out Marvel vs. Capcom. There's no one screaming out anything to you. This game lacks personality. It almost feels like they just took all the life out of the Marvel vs. Capcom brand, and it's ridiculous. I'm speechless. I don't know what else to say about it other than this game is really bad. It's like as a full package, it's pretty bad. I mean, like I said, graphics and presentation. As far as there might be some people that don't really care about that because it's a fighting game. But I mean, one thing you can say about the Marvel vs. Capcom series is that I mean it's always been stylish. It's always been like as far as the presentation goes, it's always been top notch. They've always been trying to celebrate both of these brands, both of the Marvel superheroes, and then also Capcom's staple of games that go on for years and years. Like they have a big legacy of games, and this game isn't a celebration of Capcom's collection of games or Marvel superheroes. It's just MCU characters, and like half of the Capcom characters are from the last game. Like this is horrible, freaking horrible. Getting back to the graphics and presentation, I mean the human faces in this game, they look horrible. They lack detail. The majority of them, Mega Man X and Zero, they look like toys. And then let's talk about the story mode, because I was really disappointed in this story mode. The way that they just put you in like they put you inside the conflict right away. They don't set things up. They don't they don't have these characters come together or anything. And it's crazy because there's a lot of dialogue in this game, and a few things that happen that you can tell that those things were kind of nods to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But one of the things that the Marvel Cinematic Universe did was basically have these characters come together for the first time and have them meeting up and interacting before they all come together as a group and fight the bad guys. This game doesn't do that at all. It just puts you right into the convergence of these two worlds. Once the story starts, everything has already happened. Ultron has fused with Sigma, and the two worlds, the Capcom world and the Marvel world, they've all come together already. Like, they didn't set things up at all. The voice acting in the story mode is very hit and miss. Iron Man, I will say this: Iron Man, Capcom. Not Capcom. Oh my God, I can't even speak right now. Captain America, Dante, Morgan, and Spider-Man, they're good, but some of the voices like Mega Man X, Ghost Rider, Zero, Doctor Light, and Nemesis, they are all terrible. Something else I also got to mention about the story mode, and the story mode is something that I know a lot of people wanted from the last game, because it seemed like the last game, it didn't have enough single player content in it. And it's good that they are finally taking strides to adding a story mode, especially with Injustice and Tekken also having story mode. But this was really, really poorly made, because there's a lot of load times between these cutscenes. I haven't heard anybody from any like I haven't heard any reviewers talk about the cutscenes in this game and how it doesn't really flow from one cutscene or from one fight to the next. It doesn't flow naturally and quickly when you compare it to something like Injustice. And I believe Tekken also does this also, where it feels very cinematic and there's not a lot of loading. There's not a lot of like, it doesn't leave you into loading screens. Like, there's so many loading screens in this game, and it takes about two almost even 3 minutes sometimes to actually load up the next scene, and the scene might be short. I mean, there's just a lot of loading in this game, and that's sad for a game that's coming out in 2017 on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. But I will say, I love the idea of the two worlds coming together in the story. But like I said, some of the writing in the story is just bad, the way that they put things together. I hate how they like I said, I just hate how they put you straight into the conflict without really setting these characters up. And there's some really bad. I don't know why no one mentioned this in any of the reviews, but there's some really bad difficulty spikes in this story mode. I mean, at one point I was steamrolling through the story, and then the game decides to hit me with a beefed up version of a character like the Incredible Hulk or Thor with super armor, and it's just a freaking nightmare. I mean, the AI is horrible. All they do is spam and run away. Period. So Capcom, y'all dropped the ball as far as the AI goes, because they are spamming like crazy. And Jeddah, there's a fight with Jeddah in this story mode that almost had me throwing my controller. That fight was ridiculous, and the AI in this game is just ridiculous. As far as the gameplay itself goes, it's I'm sorry, this isn't an improvement. A lot of gaming outlets and stuff, they act like this fighting system is a lot better. They act like it's a lot more streamlined, but honestly, I don't like the changes. They went from 3 versus 3 gameplay to 2-on-2, and I believe it was Marvel vs. Capcom 1. It was either 1 or 2 that just had 2-on-2 fights. The active assist system, which allows for tagging combos. Basically, you can tag in your character while you're comboing and stuff. I don't like it as a replacement to the normal system where you can use assist, and also you have 2 other characters with you. In the other games, it was 3-on-3. You had assist that you can use. Like, I miss all of that. And after playing the Dragon Ball Fighter Z beta, I mean, it's hard to go to a game like this and to play it and to feel like, okay, this is good. Like, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, it's just not the same. I mean, I found myself missing the support attacks, and then that third character, that extra character. And they also switched the button layout from the 3-button layout of high, medium, and low attacks, and then also that special attack. But now it's something different. Now, like I said, in the other game, in the previous game, it was high, medium, low, and then special attack, which was your launcher. And in this game, they have it as light. Was it light punch, light kick, heavy punch, and heavy kick? And listen, me personally, I think it's kind of unnecessary. I hate this change. It feels like it hurts the accessibility of the game, and it feels like it adds needless complexity because it feels like people, because keep in mind, I'm not a hardcore fighting game fan. Like, I'm not one of those people that really know the ins and outs of fighting games that much or anything like that. But but I feel as though there's a lot of people out there that feel like, oh, if you have like five different buttons, 5 different attack buttons, that makes the game have depth. That makes the game complex. But it's like, I feel like the input, as far as the input buttons, like, I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that many attack buttons in order for your game to be complex or for it to have depth. Look at Fighter Z. Look at Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I hate to keep bringing Dragon Ball Fighter Z up, but I mean, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is pretty simple. It's light. It's a light, medium, heavy, and then you have your projectile move. But it's a lot simpler. It feels like it's just a lot simpler for people like me. I'm pretty sure it's a lot easier for somebody to probably grasp something like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's a lot easier for them to pick that game up than it is something like Marvel vs. Capcom, because there's this light punch, heavy punch, light kick, and it doesn't really it's not a really good as for me I feel like it's not a good, it's just not as good of a description of what's going on in the game to me. Like, I don't know how to really explain it other than I just don't think it. I don't really like the change of the 4 buttons, really. And lastly, I gotta talk about the roster. Now, I feel like I feel like I would be beating a dead horse if I were to talk about the roster here, because the roster is one of the big reasons why a lot of people aren't picking this game up. Obviously, we don't have the X-Men in the game, and Capcom isn't the ones to blame for this. It's actually Marvel. Like I said, this game is basically a advertisement for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm pretty sure Marvel came to them and was like, we want you to showcase these characters because these are our popular characters in Marvel. And because Fox owns the X-Men, that's why the X-Men aren't in the game. But yeah, this roster sucks. I mean, half of the characters are from the last game. I wish they would have replaced Arthur, Hagar, Firebrand, Frank West, and Spencer with other characters from other Capcom properties like Onimusha and Power Stone. I don't know why Power Stone isn't in this game. It would have made for an even better story plot with the Infinity Stones and then also the Power Stones. But yeah, man, this game as a whole, it's pretty bad. I don't suggest anybody buy this game. I really don't. I'm about halfway through the story mode. I had to put this game. I really had to put the game down simply because the AI in this game is horrible. I haven't tried the online, but from what I've heard, there's a lot of spamming. I'm pretty sure people are spamming Ultron's moves and Jada and Jetta's moves also. I've seen a lot of online gameplay, and this game is just bad. I would say if you're in need of a fighting game, go pick up Injustice. That game is pretty good, and its story mode is way better than Marvel vs. Capcom. You can also try Tekken, the new Tekken game. I haven't played that yet, but I'm pretty sure it's way better than this game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. I had to get my thoughts out on this game. So overall, the presentation of this game is pretty bad. Graphics is pretty bad. Story is pretty bad. I will say this about the story mode. Also, getting back to the story mode, there there were like maybe 2 or 3 good scenes that I liked with a few different characters. But yeah, as far as the writing in the story mode and the way that they set everything up for the story, pretty bad. The gameplay, it's not up to snuff. It's not as good as the other Marvel vs. Capcom games, and the roster is horrible. So yeah, let me know if you guys have played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Let me know what you guys think about the game so far, and like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. This has been Anigo Shadi. I'm out of here. Peace.